And so now, after doing this, it sounds like this. Now I can do this like a frog walk. But because I was fairly new and I had never done that technique before, I was doing... no, hold on a second.
In a moment, I'll be introducing to you the voice of Ada Wong, as well as the voice of Jack from Mass Effect, Calypso on X-Men 97, and Starla from the regular show. Please welcome, with a loud bang and clapping, Courtenay Taylor. Welcome, welcome.
It's a big convention, you guys. It's a long way to run.
So, how's your day been?
I got my steps in. It's been great. This is the first time that I've been to the Philadelphia area and also to TooManyGames, and it's been excellent. So thank you guys for an amazing experience.
Wow, glad to hear, glad to hear. How has your sign-up booth and your meet and greet experience has been?
Everyone has been fantastic. I have a bunch of different prints from different video games and animated series, and I also am almost out of my nerdsvote.com pins, but if you swing by, I still have some stuff. Yes, it's been very good.
I'm glad to hear. And next, we have making her way onto the stage. She's the voice behind Jill Valentine, as well as Luna from Sailor Moon and Rukia from Bleach. Please welcome Michelle Ruff.
Baby girl.
I know.
Guys.
Hi, guys. I have laryngitis. Awesome for a voice actor, but I'm here. So I'm going to keep my mask on to keep these people safe.
I'm an X-Man. I'm okay.
You're invincible.
Not really. Cut to.
Calling me, you jerk. Why did you take your mask off?
Well, don't worry. We've got enough of energy to help you along the way.
Thank you.
That's right. That's right.
So we're going to just go through some quick questions before we start the Q&A a little later. But yeah, let's start with how you two both got into voice acting.
Okay, you go first and talk as much as you want, and then I'll take over. I don't want you to... We're going to keep her alive as long as we can, you guys.
Thank you. So I started my acting in Second City Improv Theater in Chicago. So I was an improv theater actor, and I just, from there, I was lucky enough to be asked to do some scratch recordings at an ad agency in Chicago by this guy who used to be a regular at my bar when I was bartending. And he was like, you know, you're really good at this. You should consider like doing voiceover work. And I was like, oh, what's that? So the rest is history.
So you were discovered like Lana Turner.
I guess kind of.
That was your Lana Turner moment.
I
For
did
those
have
of
a
you who
Lana.
don't know who Lana Turner is, she was an actress who was allegedly was discovered at like a soda shop.
Was she?
Yeah. So
Oh,
now you
wow.
have your own Lana Turner story.
Oh my goodness.
I believe it was a lie,
Wasn't
but-
Marilyn Monroe kind of discovered too?
I think she did nudie photos actually, but we'll not get into that.
She was the original Kim Kardashian. Paris Hilton.
Something. Yes, absolutely. I went to theater school at the same time that I was running a boxing gym, and I taught like boxing fitness classes, and so I yelled a lot, and I always sort of sounded like this anyway, but I had a little more texture from screaming at people to do push-ups, and I went to apply for a master's program in New York, and I went in and did my my audition. I did my classic and my contemporary monologues, and that guy was like, you have a terrible voice, and you will never do theater with that voice. You will never project to the back of a room or play Juliet. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to play Juliet anyway. But and so I went back to my acting class, and my acting teacher said, I think you have a cool voice. You should try voice acting. And I didn't know what that was, and so I took some classes, and I fell in love with it. And I fell in love with like commercial voice acting classes and everything, because I used to, as a kid, I used to sing all the jingles, and like it was basically just doing everything that I did anyway, like mimicking my parents who had accents and stuff like that. And so I was like, wait, I can get paid to do that? That'd be awesome. So I did that, and
I
then
love hearing
started.
origin stories. That's the first time I've heard Jen's origin story. That's pretty cool. So you were turned away from like.
The guy was like, I won't even accept your audition.
That
and,
just goes to show you that you never take no for an answer, because one person's opinion does not define who you are in life.
My motto is always, no is just yes to a different question.
Exactly.
So, and then I just basically took that with me and just went to class and kept bothering this one agent for like 4 or 5 months until finally I called him on like a Friday, and he was like, Courtenay Taylor, yes. And I was like, hey, it's my birthday. And he was like, let me guess, you want me to sign you because it's your birthday? I was like, well, if you insist. And so that's how I got my first agent, was being professionally pushy.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's just yes to a different question, my friends.
Yep.
Wow, very nice. Going with keep going until it finally works. That strategy works wonders if you finally develop that voice in you. Now, you mentioned that you started out in the gyms, screaming, working. How did that help you, like, bring that into other roles?
It actually, it's funny, like, I've been doing this long enough now that all of the things that I thought did not prepare me to be, like, I went to, like, a theater program over the summer. I like, ass backwards my way into acting, whereas a lot of my friends are classically trained, have done plays and stuff since they were kids, and I was always just like, I went to punk rock shows and just kind of screwed around, and so I always felt like I was a little bit at a disadvantage. But now I realize that being a punk rock kid totally helped me with the voice of Jack from Mass Effect, and the like physical stuff of like maybe getting into a few fist fights when I was younger, and also boxing and kickboxing and dance and stuff like that made it much easier for me to be in my body in when I had to do things like battle sound sets, effort noises and stuff like that. So because I know what it's like to get punched in the face and kicked in the ribs, and so it was much easier. I'm not advocating for you to go out and do that, of course.
It's good character training.
But it was really helpful. And I remember early in my career, one of the directors saying, I was doing like zombie noises, and he was like, okay, now you're getting your arm ripped off and it's being stuffed down your throat. And I'm like, and he was like, this is why I hire you, because you have no shame. You will make any sound. You will do pooping noises. I was like, yep, pretty much. And so I felt like that came in handy.
As a fan of the regular show and hearing your voice as Starla, not realizing that's the same voice of Jack, and then hearing this, it's so weird that, like, did they meet you first? Did these creators meet you when we got a basic character on this?
No, the woman who was directing regular show, Chris Salter Zimmerman, she had actually given me a lot of my first jobs in different things, but she didn't have like casting capabilities. I read for the role of Starla and a cashier, and I read for Starla, I think in just my regular voice, and I made the cashier because I thought the cashier had like 2 lines so I could make her more, annoying sounding. And so when I went in, I thought that that's what I had booked, was that, and they said, actually, the cashier voice was what we wanted for Starla. And I was like, oh, you mean this one? Okay, great. And so that's how she started. I was like, oh, that's the one I'm going to have to do for the next 4 years? Awesome. But it is true. I love
4
her.
4 hours at a time, my friend.
Exactly. Oh, usually, yeah. But, yeah, so it helps also having lots of different voices in my head so that I can try and be cool like Ada Wong, and then also be like, Mitch, you should know what I'm thinking even when I don't tell you what I'm thinking. And also be Ada Wong.
I was going to ask, following you to explain some of like your process of finding a character's voice, especially when it's a new character and you have to think about how they would react to situations, or there has been a pre-existing character, but now you're introducing your version of it.
Wait, what's the question?
Well, what's your process of finding a character's voice?
I mean, I feel like the sides will usually give you a good indication, like based off of a couple of descriptions. I tend not to like stick to every single description in a character side because I don't know. I just think a few, like you could pick a few and then add a little tweak of your own. You can kind of make it a little bit different from what they're hearing from everyone else, number one. For anime, it's a lot of times, like you can hear the Japanese voice and base a little bit of what you're doing off of what the Japanese sounds like. Sometimes we don't hear a Japanese reference, like for Rukia, I did not hear anything. For Luna, I never heard like the Japanese reference for that. So, you know, I think a lot of times too, it's like if you're being brought in specifically to read for a character, the director, the casting director, the producer already has something in their head that they're listening for, and they know that you can bring that character to life. I don't know if you've had that situation where it'll be like, you know, well, we're only calling in like 5, 10 girls for this. And you're just in that like pile and you're able to bring that character to fruition.
Well, I think, like for me, I will look at the artwork for sure if they provide it, for a sense of like how big the character is, what they're wearing might tell me something, what kind of weapon that they use, because I do try and put sound sets into my auditions so that they can hear, because so much of game stuff is combat, and so they can hear that. So if I see that the character has an axe or a mace or something like that, then I will definitely make sure that I do sound sets that sound appropriate to that weapon. And then I will look at the artwork if they have it, but sometimes it just doesn't speak to me. Like, you know, I'm just like, well, they're wearing a mask. I can't see what their face looks like. Or so and a lot of times they'll give you like 70 different adjectives.
Exactly.
And a lot of them are fighting with themselves. Yeah. So they're like, she's young, but she's 35, and she's tough, but she's innocent, and she's hungry, but she doesn't eat. And you're like, okay.
Which is why, like, you pick a couple, right?
So you just have to, like, kind of pick whichever, like, I call them fish hooks, that kind of just hook me in and go, oh, okay, that thing. Like the, you know, not being able to control her anger or covering it up with control. Those things make sense to me. And so I'll look for that kind of stuff. And then as far as like with a recast or taking over for somebody, which I've done multiple times, I usually have a period where I walk around, try and do my best version of them, decide that I suck and that I should get out of this business and that I will never work again and that this person was the best version of this and why am I here? And then after that, I get to work and I try and take elements of what they did or what I hear them presenting as the character and make it as much as, you know, while doing justice to, like, with Ada Wong in Resident Evil, those are massive boots to fill, right? So listening to what she did and then also trying to give my own spin a little bit, because I don't want to just try and take over what they did, but like honor those choices and give it a little spin of my own as well.
So the Resident Evil series is, you know, known for survival horror and action. And have you watched a lot of things in the past to get inspired by, like, your roles and trying to fulfill those tones you need for, you know, the suspenseful moments, the action beats and stuff like that?
I mean, I feel like I can't say that I've like studied stuff to do that. I think for me, it's just taking experiences from real life and trying to translate those into whatever scene it is that I'm in with this character. You know, just to try and make it as real and vulnerable and truthful as possible.
I did not watch, I mean, I knew about the Resident Evil movies and stuff, but I did not watch. I remember actually doing Resident Evil 6 and seeing some of the, like, the busting out of the membrane and seeing the So gross,
So
dude. But
gross.
seeing the, because we get to see some of the raw footage of the motion capture stuff, so it is both extra horrifying because it's so unpolished, and there's like, somebody in like a nude color suit, like just flopping out onto the floor, and you're like, I don't know what's happening here, but it's gross. But for Ada in particular, because she never gets her hands dirty, so to speak, I actually watched some anime because coming from like the Mass Effect world where the efforts are really real, and then going in for Ada and then being like, okay, so she just like rappelled off a 20-story building, and so I was be like, okay, so she's landing like, ugh, and they're like, oh no, Ada Wong doesn't land like that. She lands like, and I was like, oh, okay. So I definitely looked at that because I was coming more from a grittier thing.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me video games aren't real?
Some of them are. I'm directing on one where I'm like, stop. Like, it's turning into like The Simpsons. Like, it's very predictive these days where I'm just like, really? Okay. And like the C virus and all of that stuff. I'm like, hello. Are you guys all Resident Evil fans? Raise your hands.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we're doing specifically, do you like anime?
Okay.
Do you like Mass Effect? Okay, great. Fallout? Great. Give me, what's
Persona 3, 5.
27? Okay, great. All right, cool. It's just good to know kind of
Sonic?
like, yeah.
Okay.
Sonic?
Yeah, Cream the Rabbit.
Dude, I want your job.
I want yours.
Okay, we'll trade.
You want to trade?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
We'll do like take your friend to work day, and then we'll just switch.
Just throw each other in the booth.
Exactly. Be like, see if you can tell.
Okay, now that we know that you've got fans of all your works here, I think it's time to start the Q&A session. If people
Yeah.
want to line up right here, and my friend Zach here is gonna be where you need to stand. If you can orderly line up and freely ask your questions.
42 minutes, you guys.
And 30 seconds.
So let's go.
Don't
Party.
be shy.
Don't be shy.
Clock's ticking.
That's right.
Hi, really big
Zach.
fan of you both. I guess my question is, has anything unexpected ever happened while you're filming or recording?
Has anything ever happened that was unexpected?
Yes.
Yeah, I've like tooted in the middle of doing efforts. And the engineer, of course, is recording, so it's all on tape.
So they're just replaying it anytime you.
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Like, the 3 beeps. Instead of the 3 beeps, you get your 3 farts.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's true.
I don't think. Well, I like to think that I haven't been caught farting, but there's probably some engineer out there that's like, Courtenay Taylor. Unexpected. I think when I did the final like War Never Changes monologue at the end of Fallout 4, I cried through the entire thing and I could not stop. Like usually I can zip it up, and I could not. I was surprised that came out. It's kind of like tooting for me.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So, my question is for Michelle Ruff. I was
Okay.
wondering if you had a preference between more normal roles, like, say, Saber or Rukia, or ones where you get to play around with your voice more, like, Cream or Lopmon from Digi.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love them both for different reasons. Anytime I'm recording, it's like when I'm in the booth, I'll finish a session. I'm like, oh my God, that was my favorite character. And then the next time I'm recording, I'm like, oh my God, that was my favorite character. So, each one is just a different aspect of my personality. So it's fun to do all of them.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
What is the least favorite role you have played?
Oh, somebody wants the tea. Ooh, coming in hot.
Least favorite. I'm trying to think if I ever walked out of the booth and was like, blah, yuck.
I played, oh my God, in a game called, this is not least favorite, but this is there's a game called EverQuest 2.
Oh yeah,
And they
I
have,
was on that.
I think everybody was on that one.
Yeah.
And they had characters called Frog Locks. And I remember walking into the session, and I was there just to play like 5 sort of ancillary characters, right? And the engineer comes in and hands me a bottle of water and a roll of paper towels.
Oh no.
And I was like, what is happening? And he was like, okay, so you're gonna play a frog lock, and it's very aquatic sounding. And so I had never done this before, so they would have us take a sip of water and then do our lines. And so now, after doing this, it sounds like this. It's now I can do this kind of like a frog lock. So I was doing this kind of a thing. But because I was fairly new and I had never done that technique before, I was doing... no, hold on a second. And I walked out and I had, like, my hair was wet. I had a white t-shirt that was no longer, it was like see-through. I ended up like soaking wet. It looked like I had been in a storm. So it was not my least favorite to actually perform, and I love the technique, but it was very challenging, and I felt like I'd just gotten waterboarded for like 3 hours.
Thank you, honey.
Hey, Michelle?
Yes,
I was
hi.
wondering if you do remember Rave Master.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, remember, do you miss that series?
Say again?
Do you miss it?
Do I miss it? I mean, I miss all the characters that I played and wish that I could do them again. So I would say yes, for sure. It was cute. I mean, they kind of did like a spin-off with Fairy Tale.
That's a different universe, though.
Different universe, and I didn't get to be in it, so...
Well, let's hope they come up with a reboot for it someday.
That would be awesome.
You know, you can always get on social media and ask companies to bring back characters and say that you want games and things. They actually listen to you guys and pay attention to social media. So when you come and ask me if I would go back and do a role, I'm always like, yes, I would happily do so,
In a
but please let
heartbeat,
them.
I mean, yeah.
So, yeah, you guys have the power.
You were great as Luna, too.
Thank you so much.
Hello, ladies.
Hi.
So, as women, do you ever find it difficult to strive in the industry, to say?
Do we find it difficult to what?
Strive in the industry?
Started in
Strive?
Oh, as women?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I definitely think that we have more challenges.
Yeah.
You know, there's more roles for men, number one. And I feel like just like in the directing world, I know you're directing, I started directing last year, 2 years ago. And that was a little bit more difficult to like get my foothold in. So I would say yes. Yeah, it has been a little bit more difficult, for sure.
I love this question. So here's my thing is I love video games for representation, and my pet peeve is that 51% of our country are women and 51% of the roles are not. And so when there's been really wonderful strides in this industry for representation of different groups of people, you know, the LGBTQIA plus community, people of color getting to tell the stories that are theirs to tell, which I very much appreciate. But I think it needs to start with gender representation that's sort of accurate. And so what I see happening is that there is branching out, but it's usually, and this is no shade, but it's like if there's 10 people as main characters in a game, like 6 to 7 will be straight white guys, and then the other ones will be divvied up between people of color and women, and that's not what our society looks like. So I'm really always pushing for that, and also for older folks to be represented in games, because I think people, like I mean, I joked around about it, like, you're older, you're 35. And it's like, now the majority of gamers are over 35. So I'm always looking for really good, badass representations of everybody. And I'm actually really happy to say that I'm directing on a game that has the majority of the companions are female and people of color, and also there's storylines with multiple women over the age of 60. Amazing. And they are badasses who will shoot you dead. And so
I love that.
I'm waiting for that kind of representation to be kind of across the board, because that's the magic of games, right? But yeah, it's always, I think, more difficult to be any kind of from any community that's not what is allegedly the majority.
I feel like too, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the gaming industry has changed as well, with more female players,
and writers,
getting
directors.
involved. So, it could be just kind of a slow churn, but I'm hoping that it definitely gets to the point that Jen is talking about, where we've got more representation of what's real. Good question.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you.
And also find your crew, right? So I started out in this like by myself. I didn't know any other voice actors, and I think no matter where you are, what you do, like find that crew of people that's going to support you and lift you up. And I think especially with women, we're taught that other women are competition, and that's just not true.
Not true.
Like a rising tide lifts all boats, and so like Julie Nathanson and Kari Walgren and people that I read against all the time are my very good friends, and we coach each other. We'll help each other out. I'll suggest people when I'm not available. So yeah, I mean, find your tribe. The ones that support you, keep them with you always.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hi. For either of you, is there like a bucket list role you want to perform before you retire?
A what role?
Like a bucket list role, like
Oh.
something that like you're just like, yeah, I want to play that character or something like that.
I always say I want to be like, I know Disney will never do this for me, but I always want to be like the punk rock princess, because they have not done. And she sings punk rock songs instead of like beautifully, like, soprano. She's like a shitty alto. And,
Dude, you should just do your own
I know,
animation.
Right?
That's
should,
brilliant.
And like she skateboards.
That's freaking brilliant.
And, yeah, that's the role I want. She doesn't exist yet, as far as I know.
Somebody needs to create something for you.
Yeah.
You got a better chance at DreamWorks to say shitty alto.
Gosh, I can't say that I do, but now that I'm hearing her, I think what I would like to do, bucket list, is make a show for Jen to be punk rock princess.
Yeah. All right. Let's. I'll get you in front of me. Yeah, you heard it here first, you guys.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, it's gonna be the Courtenay Taylor, punk rock princess, executive producer Michelle Ruff.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Just keep coming. Keep it coming, guys. Otherwise, I'm gonna talk about what I had for lunch.
Voila.
So I'm a pretty big Resident Evil fan. So my question for you guys is, what was your favorite voice line that you had to do in Resident Evil, and why?
Oh, man.
Mine would have to be "We're beyond sympathy, we're beyond humanity," because I feel like we're heading that direction. So maybe it's not my favorite line,
Yeah.
but
Too close to home.
yeah. I mean, not to bring it down or anything like that, but also, like time to save the day again. I think
Punk rock princess.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody, punk rock princess.
Man, Jill didn't have that many zingers. I wish she did in Revelations. I guess you almost made me a Jill sandwich. That could be a fun one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. So my question is there a character or role that you really want to revisit that there are currently no plans to bring back at the moment?
Ooh, there's a few. Man.
A stumper.
What would you? Is there any that you would like to see?
Oh, Ada and Jill. This is the Resident Evil panel. Ada and Jill.
I mean, God, I would love to play Jill again, but I don't think that's going to be in my future, you know. I would die to play her again. I would kill a zombie to play her again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anytime they want me to come back as Ada, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Down.
Yeah. But there's so many. Like, I feel like I would love to play Jack from Mass Effect again. I really love her, and I loved her story, and I would love to explore more of it. But I think there's I feel really fortunate that there's not too many that I wouldn't want to revisit. Like, when I did On Camera, which I don't particularly care for, I like doing voice acting instead of face acting. I mean, I'll do it, but it's not my favorite. I remember like doing plays and stuff and being like, oh, thank God that's over. And like, because it just wasn't my medium. And now when things end, like I sobbed at the end of Fallout 4. My director for that game, he and I worked together for 2 years. And the last day, I wrote on a Post-it note, the end, with just a period. And I went to his house, and he had it stuck on his Pip-Boy, like, whatever, 9 years later. And he was like, oh, that was the worst day. So everybody, you know, if it's a really good project, I think you always want to go back, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I wish there was more Luna from Sailor Moon, too. I'm sad that
Me
ended.
too. Me too.
Are there punk rock girls in Sailor Moon? Can I be one?
I think you should be one.
Guys, I'm just saying.
Hello.
Hi.
Courtney, favorite punk rock band?
Favorite punk rock? Okay, guys. This is where I start dating myself, kids. Oh, God. Okay, so I love the Avengers, if you listen to, like, 70s punk rock. They were, I mean, Penelope Houston's my girl. 80s, I spent a lot of time at Youth Brigade shows and DRI and MDC for their politics.
Yeah.
Crass and Flux of Pink Indians, if we want like the British kind of vegetarian punk rock. Huge fan of early Black Flag.
God, you're the real deal.
There's so many.
She's definitely the real punk rock.
She's the real deal.
I was one of the original kids that when Gilman Street opened, so I'm particularly fond of like Op Ivy. Like I grew up with those guys and Neurosis and Rancid and
Did you ever meet Tim Armstrong?
Sorry?
Did you ever meet Tim Armstrong?
Did I ever meet?
Tim Armstrong?
You know, fun fact about Tim Armstrong is that he did not go to my high school, but we all hung out together. But so when my friend was like, we were talking about Rancid, and she's like, you know, Tim, and I was like, yeah, and she's like, Tim Armstrong, and I was like, I don't remember him, and she was like, yes, you do, Tim from. And I was like, because there was a big period where I didn't listen to Rancid when they first started, and then she goes, Lint. It's Lint, dude. And I was like, oh, Lint. Because everybody changed their names when we were in high school. So there was like, my friends were named like Scab and Screamer and like Asshole and he was Lint. And so I didn't realize. And then I was like, oh. So yes.
What's your nickname?
That's really cool.
My nickname was just Courtenay because
Just Courtney.
well, I'm sure I had other nicknames, but they didn't tell me what those were. But or it was Punk Rock Chick because my boyfriend was a heavy metal guy, so they always thought that was really funny that I was a punk rocker and he was into metal.
Gotcha.
And so but lots of shows and growing up in San Francisco, I got to see some really good punk rock.
I bet, yeah. Then real quick, Michelle, has anybody ever had you sign like a sandwich bag?
No.
All right.
Do you have
Good
one?
to know.
I should bring sandwich bags.
Awesome.
Marketing, guys, right here. It's happening.
Ziploc.
Thank you, ladies.
Great question. Thank you.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Anna. It's nice to meet you guys. I have a bit of a multifaceted question, if that's okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, you're the last one, so unless somebody gets up behind you, you have 24 minutes.
24. Okay. So I wanted to ask if you play video games.
I do not.
You do not, do you?
I play. I'm terrible.
You're terrible.
So oftentimes I will play just like if they have a melee version where I can just like button smash.
Yeah.
But anytime it involves walking places, I kind of forget, or I'm like, how would you know that you could go in there? Or people will be like, we've already been here, and I'm like, no, we haven't.
It's like so easy to get lost.
Yeah. So I did do a role in something called Date Everything, and that seems like that's right up my alley. Like it's not too challenging, so that's my next one.
Isn't that Robbie's?
That is Robbie, Damon, and Ray Chase, and
Max.
and Max Middleman. So yes, I will be playing Date Everything.
Nice.
So I was actually going to ask.
I have played. I tried to play Revelations.
Yeah.
And I lasted like 30 seconds. Same thing.
It's
like
super hard.
It's so hard with the controls. I'm like, how do I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And then all of a sudden a zombie's in front of you, and I'm like,
Very stressful.
I'm dead.
So
I hope you
don't
make that
mind
noise.
So you don't mind playing or watching things that you voice in then? Because I was curious if that was something that like stresses you out, like hearing your own voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, well, I can't.
Is it stressful to like hear your own voice in something?
I'm hypercritical of myself. So, yeah, it's like I can't really just enjoy the performance. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Or why did they pick that take? Or, oh my God, I had so many other good takes. Why what was that? So, yes.
My now ex-husband got Mass Effect 2 when it first came out. And I was hypercritical, and I was like, I don't want to see it. And so I remember, like, doing the finances for the house and hearing this, like, I will destroy you. And I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, please start. And it was just like, fuck your feelings. And I was like, it was very distracting. But I have really tried. That was another reason I didn't like doing on camera, because I was so critical, and I would, like, beat myself up. I did, like, Criminal Minds and SWAT, and I'd be like, look at me. And I have worked really hard to not do that anymore, and to just go much easier on myself. And I think it was really valuable. So now I'm trying to, I actually went back and watched scenes from Mass Effect and listened with the kinder, gentler Courtenay Taylor that exists now. And I was like, yeah, I think I like her. I think I did okay.
Pretty good.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. I was wondering if you had either of you, future projects you'd like to talk about or I know, Courtenay, you worked with Bethesda, Elder Scrolls 6.
Hold on. Talk into the microphone. Come closer to the microphone.
Do you have any future
so you're gonna
projects?
do this right here.
Future projects you'd like to talk about?
Oh, okay. Can you talk about any future projects, Michelle?
I wish I could. I mean, I have Shearzard Harvey coming back in Trails in September. And, there's more Bleach down the line. But I can't. That's all I can say. I'm
No
sorry.
spoilers.
NDA. NDA.
Right.
I know, it's so not fair.
Anything that you can.
I'm trying to think. I have stuff that just came out. It's maybe not for this crowd, but on Apple Plus Television, there's a little show called Lulu the Rhinoceros. It's about a bulldog who thinks she's a rhinoceros, and I had a bulldog named Lulu, so I play a koala and a goose.
Super cute.
The third season of Blood of Zeus just came out on Netflix like a month ago. So if you're into that, I play surprise Hecate, and game-wise, Date Everything just came out. I am your friendly Russian desk named Dasha. I will help you date. I will take you on practice dates so you can learn to be a good dater. I have a really good game that I'm directing on, but it's not going to be out until October of 2025.
Nice. I have one more I forgot. I should tell you guys. So there's this one of our fellow voice actors, Dina Sherman. she's producing her own little like original animated series. It's called Bad Eggs, and it's basically like it's called Naked and Afraid. So it's naked eggs, and it's based off of like Naked and Afraid. So it's pretty funny. It's a little raunchy, not for the young ones. But Yuri Lowenthal, Tara Platt, me, Dina, and a couple of other voice actors are involved in it. So it's funny. So check that out.
Who's doing this?
Dina Sherman. Do you know Dina?
Oh yeah. That's so great. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's she does a lot of announcing stuff. I always
yes,
see her
for
announcing
Nickelodeon.
stuff.
Bad Eggs with a Z.
And fun fact, actually, SAG-AFTRA has an ultra low budget. Is anybody here like a developer or wants to make their own games? Indie games? Anybody? No?
Got a few.
What are you doing with your life? No. SAG-AFTRA has an ultra low budget that creators can use to use union voice actors to do your projects. So check into that. If you need more information, you can swing by my table. But yeah, indie games are awesome. So yeah, make your own. Bring us in. Let's party.
I love it.
Hello again.
Hello.
Did you guys ever work with any like stars that you were like starstruck and kind of nervous to work with because you were already big fans of them or anything like that?
My very first commercial that I recorded in LA was with Fred and Barney from the Flintstones. It was like the original Fred Flintstone, and I freaked out. Like, I totally freaked out. I came in, I was, literally, it was like my first commercial record. It was animation for Fruity Pebbles. And I was playing like a newscaster on the street, and the producer's there from the ad agency, and I walked in, and I literally was like, oh my God, is that? And she's like, okay, calm down. Calm down. We're going to put you in the booth. And then she tried to like hook me up with, I don't know, she was trying to like set me up with somebody after the...
I was like, did she try and hook you up with Fred or Barney? Because that...
It may have been Barney, but Barney was in like... He was someplace else at the time recording remote. So I can't remember if it was him or like one of her cousins or somebody. I don't know. But she asked me, she's like, are you married? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, shoot. And I was like, okay, I'm not even going to ask.
I have never gotten anyone try to set me up, and now I'm feeling insecure. Nobody's ever tried it. No. The first session that I walked in for regular show, I came in, they had done some pickups for another session. So usually they'll have the cast in and then they'll bring in the people who are guesting later. And so I walked in and there's like a U shape and they're like, okay, so you're gonna go ahead and sit next to Mark. And I'm like, oh. And I didn't know Mark Hamill was on the show. And I was like, I'm like, I think I just left something outside. Hold on one second. And like I went outside. I was like, hey, play it off, cool. And I walked back and I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. And he was like reading a book and he was like, hello. And just went back to reading his book. And I was like, but I got to sit next to him and I was very freaked out for like the first couple of sessions that we did. And then working on OKKO, Let's Be Heroes on Cartoon Network, they brought in the women from Ghoul School, and I was completely freaking out about that. Like, Ashley Birch and I were just like, yes, ma'am, can I get you anything, ma'am? Reese Taylor, ma'am, can I get you like a coffee or anything? We're like bowing out of the room, like, we're not worthy. So there's been a lot of like chance meetings, and weirdly when I was, this is work, but I was a PA on a show called Tales from the Crypt. And
I remember that.
Yeah, that was like my first job. And Bill Paxton, they needed someone to drive him back to his hotel, and I loved him. And so instead of getting him a car service, they had me drive him in my mighty Hyundai hatchback. And I drove across LA with him, and I was just like, yeah, I think I want to be an actor. And I remember him getting out of at his hotel and reaching in and shaking my hand and saying, "Thank you so much for driving me, and I really hope we work together someday."
Oh,
And I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
that's
And-
really sweet.
Yeah, and then I ended up at the same agency as him, and I saw him in the hallway, and I didn't say anything to him because I was nervous, and then he passed away, and I have always kicked myself for that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank
Bill
you.
Paxton.
Well, that just goes to show that basically fans of like come in all shapes and sizes. Where like even you are fans of other actors and other performers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I met Priscilla Presley out at a con, and I don't know why I just got so like starstruck.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she's so iconic.
Yeah.
She's like the princess of rock and roll.
Yeah.
And she was so kind. Oh my God, she was like,
She's seen some shit, guys.
yeah, she sure has. She sure has. And I was with my husband, and she's with the same agent that I am for convention appearances. So I asked my agent, I said, could I please meet her? You know, I'd love to take a picture. So they asked her, and she was like, of course. So my husband is like on the other side of her, and she literally like grabs us both and just like big hug. And my husband is standing in the picture, he's like this. He's like, I couldn't bring myself like to touch her. Like she's just so precious. So that was kind of a fun moment.
I met Linda Carter at the launch party for Fallout 4. She's in the game, and she's like my Wonder Woman. And I literally, my friend, like, I was like, I have to take a photo with her. And she was like, hold on. And I held her purse, and she like chased her down, like no. I was like, my friend voiced Wonder Woman, and so she made it happen. And like the photo of us, she looks slightly uncomfortable, and I am cheesing so hard, like my face is gonna break. I'm like, and I still have that photo.
That's amazing.
Hi, this is a question for Courtenay about Mass Effect and Jack. What was it like voicing so many different reactions for Jack? I assume that the different choices in Mass Effect, there must have been a lot of different voices or reactions you had to have to voice the voice of Jack. And one hard question that you don't have to answer, other than Jack, who was your favorite Mass Effect companion?
Okay, wait. Okay, so doing the reactions, they played us Shepard's voice for some of it, so I kind of knew what I was reacting to with that stuff. I think Jack was very easy for me. She is one of the easiest characters I've ever voiced. I feel a very deep kinship with her, and so a lot of her reactions were sort of second nature to me, as somebody who kind of went through life with the best defense is a good offense kind of attitude, and sort of always kind of throwing the first punch. Growing up as a punk rock kid, when I was young, there wasn't a ton of us around, and so people would pull my hair because it would be dyed a color. They'd be like, "Is that real?" And I would get hit and stuff thrown at me, and so I became very defensive, and so those reactions were very easy. The hardest part of her, I think, was when they did the dancing, and the drinking, where she was kind of like easing up a little bit. That felt weirder to me than anything, but so I didn't really struggle much with her. I struggled more to keep my emotions zipped up because I felt so much like her in a lot of ways, and I also had her haircut both for 2 and for 3 when I was in high school.
What was her haircut?
She was totally bald, and I got thrown out of my high school for
You shaved your head.
well, there was a dress code for my high school, and so kids Once upon a time, you could not have strange colored hair. It was a really big deal. And so I dyed my hair pink and I went to school and they said, you can't come to school with an unnatural hair color. It's out of our dress code. So I shaved my head bald and they tried to send me home the next day and I was like, no, this is how I was born. This is as natural as it gets, my friends. And then she has a mohawk for the second iteration of her. So
Did you come to school with a mohawk?
I did. By that time, I was at a different school because I went to 4 high schools in 4 years because they kept throwing me out. So yes, I totally relate to her, obviously. And my companion, it used to be Steve Bloom's character, but now I'm really good friends with Tali, the voice actress for Tali, and so I love her because I've gotten to sit next to her and have her talk to me, and I'm like, I love that accent she does. It's really good.
Thank you. Great answer. Thank you.
Sorry, kind of long-winded, but you know.
I mean, pretty pumped to get kicked out that many times.
Yeah, I flunked a year and a half of high school, kids. And I also, because nobody tells me no, they said, you should drop out. And I said, I don't think I will, actually. I think I'm going to make up this year and a half of high school and graduate on time as the valedictorian. How about that? Contrarian goes both ways, my friends.
Hello.
Hi.
Let's bring it around back to Resident Evil, but leave it open-ended. If you were in a zombie apocalypse, what other character, besides Ada and Jill, what other characters would you want on your, squad?
On my team?
Yeah, whether it's in Raccoon City, whether it's on the cruise ship that got bombarded by the ooze.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know much about Ada, but I liked her description. So
she has great clothes.
I think I would, she'd probably be one of my first picks. And then of course I need my Chris.
Oh, no. I was saying, if you wanted to pick, anybody else, Fujiko or Yoko.
Oh, one of our other characters. Oh man. I would have to say Rukia because she could then just freeze the whole scene and everyone would shatter and die. That'd be an easy fix, right?
Kind of overpowered, but
Yeah.
good.
We'll go with that.
Can I have Lady D? Is that, can I?
Yeah, it's characters you either voiced or characters you've seen in other Resident Evil things. I know. You could be OKKO in it.
Wait, I don't understand the question.
If you were to choose your own survival team squad, you can pick characters you have voiced or other Resident Evil characters.
Oh, ones that I had, well, I would definitely have Jack, because biotics. And I would have Chris Redfield, and then I would have.
What about another character you voiced?
I'm going through this.
So much pressure.
Not Magic from X-Men 97?
I don't.
Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, yeah, we'll go with Wonder Woman. Thanks for all the assists, you guys.
You're welcome.
I feel like I would have a really good crew. I mean, I feel very fortunate, but yes, all of that, and then also probably Scarlet Rhodes from Call of Duty Black Ops 4, because she's kind of a badass, and she has great clothes.
Thank you.
So as we're coming down to the last 5 minutes, if you got any last remaining questions, please sign up now.
So this is for both of you, and it's kind of a silly question.
Yay.
How do you feel about Ada and Leon's relationship, and would you want them to be canon?
Ada and Leon?
Yeah.
You're asking me too?
Oh, yeah, both of you.
I don't know anything about their relationship, so I can't. Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Can I pick my Leon? Yeah. There's been a couple. I'm of two minds. I want them to hook up.
Yes.
I don't know that they have to have a relationship. They could have a situationship more so than they do. But yes, I feel like they owe it to the fans to have some kind of something. I mean, this has been the longest. Is this 18 and up?
18 plus.
Are there children here?
No. Yes.
There are children here?
There's a few young ones.
Okay.
Yep.
I think this has been the longest courtship that that I've seen, and I would like some kind of resolution. It doesn't have to be permanent. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi.
10 of 10 for the commitment.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
I hope you have a fan in there.
Was there ever a time where you improvised a line in a video game that actually made it in? Or any voice acting at all?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Give me an example.
No.
I can. Ratchet and Clank, A Rift Apart. I played a little a robot named Ms. Zircon, and she wants to be a spy. And so they let me just run with it, and so everything was like, "Are we doing some espionage?" And then I said like. Well, swap my hind with a melon rind, honey. I've always wanted to be a spy. And they were like, I have never heard that phrase before, so swap my hind with a melon rind made it into the game.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's funny.
Easy question. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, this could be a long one.
I know, I have a couple. Currently, my favorite is, it's this ice cream out of Orange County called Brugger's, and it's coffee toffee. So it's a coffee base with chocolate toffee pieces, crunchy little nummy nidbits in it.
I mean, okay, I'm an ice cream nerd, so we're gonna get deep now. There's a company called McConnell's.
Oh my God.
That does an Earl Grey tea ice cream with pieces of shortbread in it, which I am half English, so that speaks to me on a cellular level.
McConnell's is ridiculous.
It's so good.
Salted caramel brownie.
Man, I'm
McConnell's.
just like, open a vein and put that Earl Grey in me. Jenny's. Do they have Jenny's out here? Jenis. Okay, so Jenny's is they do a yuzu lemon pound cake.
Ooh.
Which is amazing. I'm also a fan of
Salt and Straw has some good ones too.
Salt and really anything by Salt and Straw. Fun fact: my partner and I, one of our first dates, we went to a lovely dinner, and then we decided to walk across the street and have some Salt and Straw. He is an ice cream pig, and so he ordered not one but 2 scoops of the salted caramel ice cream with a waffle cone, and proceeded to eat himself sick. And so
on your first date?
It was very early on, and I drove him back to his Airbnb and dropped him off. Was like, I actually have to go feed my dog, so no, I'm not gonna come in, thanks. He was just like, oh, okay. And so now every time we see a Salt and Straw, I'm like, would you like to go and get 2 scoops? And he's like, I'm done. No.
That's super hot.
Yeah, it's very sexy. And yeah, he literally said, you shut the door after you left, and I just said, she's never gonna call me back.
Thank you.
Any suggestions, by the way, for ice cream here?
Oh, yeah.
Locally?
No.
No, these are all frozen yogurt fans.
I like frozen yogurt too.
Don't tell me you're a freaking sorbet fan, because I will fight you. Or sherbet?
I like sorbet. If it's fresh. Dude, Brugger's does dragon fruit sorbet, and it's literally made fresh every day. It is so good. Stop.
All right, I'll try, but it's not. I need candy in my ice cream.
Well, with that, our time has come to an end. Can we please get a round for Courtenay Taylor and Michelle Ruff?
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Are you going back to your table?
I am going back to my table. I also, my nonprofit is called nerdsvote.com. It's all voice actors who are just as nonpartisan, but we really encourage everyone to...
Did you start that?
Yeah.
Dude.
Me and the voice of Morph from X-Men 97.
That's amazing.
Started that together, and Steve Bloom's wife, Mary Elizabeth McGlynn. And so please use your powers for good.
Yes.
Every
and come
election,
see
every
us
time.
at our tables. We're heading back.
All right, and thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.